Okay, here we have the back. We are going to step by step dissect down through the back with our most superficial layers all the way down to our deepest layers. So we're going to use the Explore tool, and as we touch a muscle, it will be removed from the cadaver so we can get deeper and deeper. So we're going to start off our extrinsic musculature. So extrinsic meaning is going to start on the back, but insert elsewhere. So we're going to start off our trapezius and our latissimus dorsi, and then we're going to move to our rhomboid major and our rhomboid minor. So that's the most superficial back musculature we have. Our next layer down is our serratus posterior inferior and our serratus posterior superior. So that's our real extrinsic musculature, and just to help things, I'm also going to get rid of sternocleidomastoid and levator scapulae. So now we are down to our intrinsic musculature. So the most superficial of the intrinsic muscles are our splenius. And the splenius has two basic levels, capitis and cervicis. And I'm actually going to use my tool up here to help us. So you can see there's the capitis and there's the splenius. Definitely both of them are more superficial than the next layer. So we're going to now remove the splenius capitis. Then we're going to move our splenius cervicis. What that then leaves us with is our next layer, and that's what we really consider the deep or the intrinsic or the true back muscles, and that's our Erector Spinae. It's made up of three muscles, the most lateral being the iliocostalis, and then our middle one being the longissimus, and then our most medial right on the spine being our spinalis. Now, one thing you'll see on the muscle worksheets is that there are various levels to it. The lumborum, which usually is down here, the thoracicis, the cervicis, and then the capitis. Different textbooks will have different muscles. For instance, it may say that the longissimus has a lumborum and it also has a thoracis, may have a cervicis, and different textbooks may have variations on that. Don't get worried too much when it comes to the erector spinae about the different levels, lumborum, thoracis, cervical, etc. I really want to make sure that you understand the iliocostalis, longissimus, and spinalis, their relationship to each other, and their relationship to the back. Okay? So as we go through here, we start removing this next layer. The most lateral layer is iliocostalis. There's another iliocostalis, and we're just moving our way up. So we've removed the most lateral of the erector spinae. The middle layer is going to be longissimus. Again, we are just removing these various layers of longissimus. And then the most medial. Now keep in mind when you're looking at this particular cadaver, you can see a slight delineation right here. So this is actually your spinalis. Don't get stuck in this one. That's actually a little bit deeper. You can see when I remove the drawings that that is actually deeper. So you can tell that that's a little bit deeper. So there's our actual spinalis. So we get through the erector spinae musculature. Our next layer we deal with is then going to, and that's actually another, coming back. Our next layer is the transversal spinalis group. And that most superficial of the transversal spinalis group is our semispinalis. So we have a semispinalis capitis, a semispinalis cervicis, and our semispinalis thoracis. Okay, again, I'm going to bring them all back. So capitis, cervicis, and thoracis. That leaves our next deeper layer to be the multifidus, and you can see multifidi run the entire length here. So if I come here, this is all multifidi, running basically the entire length. So with multifidi, very simple. We're going to go and we're going to get, get rid of semispinalis. Hit the wrong button. We're going to get rid of multifidi, and that just leaves our one final deepest layer, and that's our rotors right down there. And they're removed. What that does leave for us now is our wonderful suboccipital muscles. So if we remember, we have our suboccipitals. So we have our 2, 3, and 4 muscles right up here. If you remember the mnemonic I said, we can actually highlight them. So we have a posterior minor, so a rectus capitis posterior minor, and a obliquus capitis superior, our rectus capitis posterior major, and our obliquus capitis inferior. I have a major inferiority complex with a minor superiority complex. So just remember that these two, both posterior major and capitis inferior, are going to have a common insertion point right there on the second, and you can see that they have a common one on the first cervical vertebrae. So once you feel comfortable with your suboccipital muscles, and you should feel comfortable now with your back muscles.